Welcome to study session 4, Historical Precursor to the International State System 2, the Political Empire, Macedonian and Hellenistic Empire. Introduction. In study session 2 and 3, you learned about the first stage of the historical precursor of the states system, that is city-states, with the Greek and Italian Renaissance city-states as examples. We will now explore the second stage of the historical precursor of state system, which is suzerain, imperial, or hegemonic state system. In this stage, attention will be given to Macedonian and Roman empires, Christendom and Byzantine Empire, Islamic, Indian, and Chinese empires. Each of these examples will be examined in the subsequent study sessions. In this study session, you will learn about the Macedonian Empire. Learning outcomes. When you have studied this session, you should be able to 1. Discuss Macedonian Empire. 2. Describe the Hellenistic Empire. 3. Analyze the structure of Hellenistic system. 4. Describe the diplomacy of the Hellenistic Empire. Macedonian Empire. It will be recalled that the Greek societies were structured in city-states or polis system, each of which had its independence and its peculiar form of government. By the beginning of the 1st century BC, the polis system, which had been the backbone of Greek political life, had become outdated. The polis was no longer a self-sufficient economic and political community. The Greek polis could not unite into an effective federation, neither could they leave each other alone. Greece could no longer present a unified and effective opposition to the great powers which threatened its independence. To the east, Persian, present-day Iran, had already swallowed up the Greek cities in Asia Minor as its price for helping Sparta in the Peloponnesian War. To the north was an even greater menace. The partially Hellenized tribes of Macedonia had been united into a powerful military machine under the leadership of Philip of Macedon, 359 to 356 BC. King Philip, a brilliant politician and general, set out to unite all of Greece under his leadership. He adopted Greek culture and customs, and when these attempts at persuasion failed to win the Greek cities over, he used the powerful Macedonian army to subdue his opponents, thus creating the Macedonian Empire. The Hellenistic Empire. However, when King Philip II died in 336 BC, he left his son, known to history as Alexander the Great, 336 to 332 BC, as king of the thriving Macedonian states, as well as hegemonion, that is president of the League of Corinth, the alliance of Greek cities through which Philip had exercised control over Greece. Alexander also inherited his father's plan to conquer a large part of the East. After establishing a stable government at home, he crossed into Asia to challenge the tottering Persian Empire. In the course of a few years, Alexander subdued the Persian Empire and Egypt and directed its course of conquest eastward to the borders of India. This created a situation where a various stocks of people, Greeks and non-Greeks alike, came under one central imperial administration with Macedon as the headquarters. Turning back at last, mainly because the army mutinied, he died in Babylon in 323 BC before he could complete the organization of his vast domains. The precedents of Hellenistic philosophy are political. Seleucus took possession of Persia, Mesopotamia, and Syria. Lysimachus assumed control over Asia Minor and Thrace. Skander established himself in Macedonia, and Ptolemy added Phoenicia and Philistine to his original domain of Egypt. 20 years later, these four states were reduced to three when Seleucus defeated and killed Lysimachus in battle and appropriated his kingdom. This eliminated the Greek polis, and common political ideas scrambled when the citizen became a subject. It was this arrangement created by Alexandria that is known as Hellenistic. The geography of Hellenistic system embraces all the regions in which Greek culture spread after the fall of Macedonian Empire. Its influence was felt from Syria to Asia Minor, Africa, and finally Rome. The political structure of Hellenistic system. In government, economics, social structure, and culture, the similarities among the three empires and the splinter kingdoms were significant enough to constitute a common Hellenistic civilization that prevailed into the 1st century BC. Only in Macedonia itself, and to a lesser extent in the Greek cities of the League of Corinth, were traditional restrictions on monarchy preserved. In the rest of the Hellenistic world, each king claimed divinity, exercised absolute power, and occupied a hereditary throne. The only limitation on the power of the king were those he imposed. In Egypt and in the Seleucid Empire, the king was worshipped as a god, as had been the custom in Near Eastern monarchies. Throughout the Hellenistic world, the basis of royal power was the army, which was composed of Macedonian and Greek mercenaries, because the king paid his mercenaries by allotting them piece of land. These forces were plainly self-perpetuating. Numerous military colonies were established in which the land of the father customarily passed on to a son, who also inherited his father's obligation to serve in king's army. The Hellenistic diplomacy. Intercity relations became increasingly important, and leagues of cities with mutual interest were common. Many cities were highly cosmopolitan international centers. The Hellenistic era witnessed the apogee of interstate diplomacy among the people of the ancient Mediterranean world. Although Alexander the Great Empire was short-lived, the Hellenistic civilization it produced shaped the course of political, social, and cultural development on three continents: Africa, Asia, and Europe. Two other political institutions developed as byproduct of Hellenistic civilization, the Achaeans and Aetolian links. The state of the Peloponnese, with the exception of Sparta and Elis, were united in the Achaeans League, when the Aetolian Federation included nearly all of central Greece, with the exception of Athens. Executive and military authority was vested in the hand of a general elected for 1 year and eligible for re-election only in alternate years. Although these leagues are frequently described as federal states, they were scarcely more than confederation.